Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Fortunate Amape, and we are indeed back again on the What Are You Doing About It campaign. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is indeed someone who has indeed proven beyond the odds to say what a man can do, a woman can do better. Ladies and gentlemen, I've indeed been joined by the chairperson of the Electrol Commission of Nipa, Madam Kondwani Ngwira. Madam, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Indeed, humbled to have you on this show.
Thank you.
Yes. So, just to start the conversation, maybe tell us briefly about who Kondwani is, as well as how you found yourself occupying such a big position. So, and as well as your experience here at Nipa.
Okay. So, my name is Kondwani Ngwira. I'm a fourth year, second semester student here at National Institute of Public Administration, studying Bachelor's of Public Administration. Well, I've been interested in elections, politics from the time I came to Nipa. So I heard of an advert, student affairs advertised on positions for vacant positions for Electoral Commission of Nipa. I was interested, and I was just in my second year, first semester. So I went for interviews. They were rough. I actually thought I didn't make it, but I was one of the successful candidates. I joined the Electoral Commission in 2023 as Treasurer General. I was Treasurer General from 2023 2024, and I became the Chairperson in 2025. So my journey as an Electoral Commission member has been rough but successful, because I endured a lot of criticism. I endured a lot of mostly criticism, because there's a lot I can say, but mostly criticism. Being at Nipa has really taught me a lot of things. Life is not about what people say you are capable of doing, but what you know you are capable of doing. You need to believe something to achieve it. At first, I was scared of being the chairperson, because we had a whole new electoral commission and the other members had no idea of what was going to happen. I was mostly in charge of everything because I was leading them from a start. I was scared because during this year's elections, 2025 elections, a lot of things happened. But I endured all that because I believe in myself.
So you say you joined Electrol in 2023, isn't it?
Yes.
So you having to come to Nipa, you never saw yourself having to stand in the union?
No.
Would we say that was because you knew what goes around behind the scenes?
Not actually. I wasn't just interested. I was more interested in knowing the winners before the winners are announced, meaning counting votes.
In your leadership as chairperson for the Electrol, did you face any gender discrimination? Having to tell you to say you are a lady, you know, the perceived picture of women. I wanted to say girls, but I think it wouldn't be older. So yes, the perceived picture of women, you get to find to say, as gentlemen will say, no, that's a big position. Did you face any kind of discrimination in that line?
Yes, a lot of people were criticizing the fact that the Electoral Commission had women. The entire board was full of women, and I was leading that board, and people did not believe I could actually make a good leader. So,
but was it okay with you to have a Electoral Commission that was full of women?
That wasn't my decision to make, because adverts are always out there, and it's up to everyone to apply. And some men didn't want to apply, so women applied, and only women were picked.
There is this perceived picture, mostly, you know, when we get to talk about, I've heard a lot of, for example, here at Nipa, you find to say when gents, or may I say the male folks, are talking about a woman having to stand for president, right? They get to tell themselves to say, what can make a woman lose if they stood as president is fellow women, right? Because there is this specific picture of saying that you as women, you are not united, right? So my question would be, you working with a panel of women, did you ever experience such kind of disorganization where you get to just tell yourself to say, how I wish these were men?
Maybe on days of wanting to work more, like, women don't always want to work more, but the board was actually wanting to learn. I didn't have issues like that because everyone wanted to learn and everyone respected me. They respected me so much that they would always ask for guidance, and they would never make me feel like I'm working with only ladies. They had put effort in everything.
All right, so you are indeed a role model to a lot of girls. Let me just make it known to you, because you indeed took up leadership for women. There is a stereotype that's there, right? There's this aspect of being to think you guys are incapable, but you have indeed proven beyond the odds and made sure to say you indeed stood up for the women, right? So my question would be, what advice would you send to, you're in fourth year, you're in fourth second, isn't it? We would just say that you are someone who is done with school, right? So what advice would you pass to fellow, maybe a fresher, right? A young lady from secondary school having to come here to Nipa and wanting to participate in this very leadership position, a current leadership position, what advice would you pass to them?
Okay, so the first thing is believe in yourself. People will always talk, whether negative or positive, but believing in yourself is the most crucial part of being in university, of being in any kind of organization. If you believe, you will achieve. That's the most important.
Okay, we've talked about elections and leadership. Let's talk about Kondwani now, yeah? So Kondwani is in fourth second, isn't it? What do you think has kept you going all this while? What would you say has been your stronghold for you to be able to, because we know to say in university there's a lot that goes on, right? And especially for you, the films, right? There's a lot of group influence, there's a lot of temptations, but what do you think has kept you going for you to even reach fourth second, for you to even be done with school?
Well, where I'm coming from Chingora, and I was raised by two parents, but my dad is late now. So my mom is my biggest strength because she's always encouraging me to go further. I'm holding myself. I'm always thinking of home. I'm always thinking of mom because I'm the firstborn, and I'm always thinking of being a great role model for my siblings because they are all looking up to me, and my mom is looking up to me. She believes in me more than I believe in myself. So her belief in me keeps me going.
In your long run, all right? As a student here, you indeed came with a mindset that was from secondary school. Right? Then you came here and you had the expectancy of how life is in university, but you now came and watched it in HD, right? So when you now understood, say, oh, this is how life is, this is what goes on, what did you wish you would have? What came to your mind, say, how I wish I knew this when I was coming in?
So I'm one person that's always alone. Like literally, I only have one friend in school, and I've seen how people change when they come to school. So being alone has made me not see a lot of things. That's what I can say. So for your question, no, at this point, reaching 4th year second, there's nothing that I regret I should have known.
You said you came here for the program of business public administration, isn't it?
Yes.
In your journey as a public administrator, what other trait did you discover to say, oh, Kondwani can do this? What did you discover in your, because for example, I'll tell you to say, I came here to do law, isn't it? But in the long run, I've indeed discovered to say, oh, I can be a great interviewer, more of a journalist type. So according to you, what did you discover about Kondwani?
Okay. So I discovered I am a public speaker.
All right.
I can speak to people without being shy, without shaking. I'm confident around people. I'm firm. I stand on the ground for what is right and wrong.
So basically, when you leave Nipa, right? When you leave Nipa, what thing would you point at and say, Kondwani, Ngwira did this?
Okay.
What how can I say it? What mark would you say, would you point at and say that, oh, I did that?
Okay. So, since mostly at Nipa, I'm known for the Electrol Commission. So I was the first ever chairperson to introduce introductory nights, the first ever chairperson to introduce online debate. And what? Okay, I think these two.
Right. So,
and the first ever chairperson to be sued by a candidate.
all right. So, you know, many other times that a lot of people don't get to know what exactly goes on behind the scene. All they want, they'll judge you just based on you having to react. Once you are triggered, you react. They'll just say, Kondwani is a bad person, right? She's rude and the like. So maybe if we can address this long-standing question, do you feel school elections are free and fair?
Yes, they are.
They are?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They are free and fair because mostly the ones that are nominated are eligible, and the ones that win during the counting are the ones that win because the observers there, the Electrol Commission members seeing everything that happens. So it's free and fair. You know, sometimes it's God's timing. You would think you're an aspiring candidate and you won because of the love people are showing you outside. But people are not always true. They come there, they choose other people. So elections are free and fair if you are inside. But once you're outside, you feel they're not free and fair because you are not inside. That's why there are always criticism saying the ones inside are the ones causing issues. It's not like that. Once you're inside, once you're in that shoe, you will understand.
All right. So, is mom proud of you?
Very much.
So, the time that she discovered to say you are the chairperson for Electrol Commission, how was her reaction?
She was happy. She actually calls me chair.
Oh.
Yeah. From that time, she doesn't call me by my name. She's always calling me chair.
You know, Madam Kondwani, there is this aspect of having to say we're indeed blessed to bless others. This campaign is indeed called the What Are You Doing About It campaign. Basically, it talks about us as young people. There are things that we've said that we want to achieve. Those things won't achieve themselves if we don't do anything about it. That's why the What Are You Doing About It comes from. When in your journey, all right, you came from Chingola, you came here to Lusaka for education, isn't it? Your journey hasn't been smooth, all right? Your journey has been rough. You've made hurdles along the way. But it's all about you having to do something about it. If you are going to be complaining, say, this is a problem, nothing's going to happen, right? So, my question would be, what would you say that the community that I came from in Chingola, I'm indeed representing it in this way? What are you doing about it?
Well, I feel like I haven't represented them further, but I'm going to do it.
What are you going to do about it? Since you're going to do it, what are you going to do about it? Let us know. Give us a glimpse, maybe.
I'm going to work extra hard, get my degree, and represent my community.
All right.
Yeah.
So, in line with public administration, what do you feel will be the way, or rather the approach that you're going to use in line with public administration? Because you say you're going to get your degree, isn't it? So what do you feel you're going to help them through your program?
So I've seen a lot of issues with councils in Chingola, and I plan on working on that once I'm a public administrator, so with a degree.
So do you feel the chairperson of Electoral Commission, do you ever see yourself, God willing, to having to be part of the Electoral Commission of Zambia?
Yeah, I have thought about that many times, but I don't know what God has in store for me. But that would be a very good thing. But God's plan.
Alright, so as you're concluding, let me ask you a very crucial question. Alright? It's not about election, don't worry. It's about Girl Child, alright?
Mm-hmm.
When we look at Girl Child, it's something that is indeed less talked about, but a lot of girl children are really destroying themselves out there. Alright? There's this aspect of sugar daddies, there's this aspect of having to try to fit in the lifestyle that has indeed led a lot of girls into ditches. Alright? So you, as a second student, someone who has indeed you're indeed someone who we can say has experienced university life, isn't it? So this advice is going to everyone who is in fourth, first, third, second, going down till first, even extending to young girls that are still in secondary school. Alright? About pursuing your dream, having to be true to yourself, what advice would you give the young girls out there?
Okay. So I think the young girls should know that they should never forget where they're coming from, because our parents always believe in us when sending us anywhere. So the best present you can give them is being the best child. And how can you be the best child? Always avoid the wrong things. So avoiding the wrong things will make you the best child. You need to believe in yourself. We are all built differently. We all have different talents, and we all come from different places. You don't need to fit in. God has built us differently and has different plans for everyone. We are all built in His image.
Another question has just come. Okay, so girls that get to find themselves maybe having to have unwanted pregnancies, having to have STIs, having to find themselves in situations that they are not supposed to find themselves. Would we say it's ignorance? Would we say it's being too naive? What exactly do you think is the problem that leads a lot of girls to such a destination?
Okay, I can't say peer pressure, because peer pressure is mostly for children. I think it's just wanting to fit in.
Wanting to fit in. That has killed a lot of girls, isn't it?
Yeah, trying to prove yourself to people. We were not brought on this earth to prove ourselves to ordinary people. We are brought on this earth to be the image of God. So we need to prove ourselves to God and only our parents. We friends come and go. We're all strangers. When we come here, we're all strangers. We live, we're strangers. You see, it's very sad. Why you come here, you play, you go out there, you go back home sick because you couldn't contain yourself, because you wanted to prove to your friends that you can do what they are doing. The ones that are going to suffer are the ones that brought you here, not those people. And how things are, those that you are trying to prove to will go there healthy. You will go sick. Who's going to suffer? Your parents. So it's right to do the right thing.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once more again, my name is Chairperson, and this was indeed the What Are You Doing About It campaign. We indeed heard from Madam Ngwira herself, as she has shared her experience has been here at Nipa, having to be the chairperson of Electoral Commission for Nipa, and also just the advice to fellow young women. All right. So, Madam, as we are indeed concluding, I think questions are continuing to pop up as you're concluding, but this one is the last one. Do you feel you as women are ready to bring about the change that you envision?
Yes, as I said, if you believe, you will achieve. So you believe in something and you will achieve it.
Madam Kondwani Ngwira, I wish you all the best. Hoping to see you as chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Zambia soon. So I wish you all the best, and we just want to say thank you. The whole What Are You Doing About It campaign team would like to say thank you for sparing your time and having to share one or two things. Thank you very much, Madam.
Thank you.
All the best in your chairmanship for Electoral Commission of Zambia.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
All the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. This is indeed the What Are You Doing About It campaign.